Commissioners and public school supporters, my name is Jen Davis-Wickens, and I'm the Chief Regional Officer for Summit Public Schools Washington, and I am absolutely thrilled to be here tonight. When I was driving here tonight, I just was overcome with a feeling of gratitude for getting to participate in this process. Tonight with me is Diego, who's our Chief of Growth. Come on up here, Diego. At Summit Public Schools. We also have a Summit Public School student and parents. We have Summit Public School supporters and a number of our community ambassadors. We brought community ambassadors from the community here, local Seattle folks, down to Summit Public Schools in California to see what the schools are like, and now they're here tonight to tell you about that experience. So we're just thrilled to have a moment to share with you more about Summit Public Schools, and we're deeply grateful for the people who are here to support us tonight. And thanks for putting up with our bright rainbow-colored shirts. So I want to begin by telling you why I'm so thrilled about the opportunity to lead Summit Public Schools Washington. I was raised in the Seattle area. I taught at Nathan Hale High School. I taught at Tyee in the Highline School District. And I founded a charter school, high school south of Oakland in Hayward, California, that serves students who are first in their family to go to college. And I know in my most recent work, I have consulted with schools, charter schools nationally, and districts, and helped found the Washington State Charter Schools Association. And through this, I know how hard it is to open and sustain high-performing charter schools. And I also know that if done right, high-performing charter schools can change the trajectory of students' lives. With over 14,000 students dropping out each year across Washington State, we don't have time to waste, and we simply need more high-quality options in our state. Summit Public Schools was founded in 2003 in the Bay Area by a group of parents and community members who came together to reimagine the high school experience. Together they created Summit Prep, which Newsweek recently named one of the nation's top 10 miracle schools. Today, Summit Public Schools is a leading charter network serving the Bay Area's diverse communities. We operate 6 schools serving 1,600 students. And Summit's mission is to ensure that a diverse student body has the opportunity to not only attend but succeed in a 4-year college. For 10 years, Summit has provided an innovative and personalized education for students, and now 100% of Summit students are eligible to apply for a 4-year college. 96% of those students are accepted to 4-year colleges or universities. So not just 2-year, but 96% of students at Summit are accepted to 4-year colleges or universities. The Summit graduates are on track to complete college at double the national average. Our schools consistently rank amongst the best in California, with our flagship school ranked amongst the top 100 best schools in the nation. We are here tonight because we want to serve Seattle students and families by creating a small and personalized high school in South Seattle, in partnership with the district and Seattle Public Schools, that would open in the fall of 2015. We are here tonight because we fundamentally believe that every child, regardless of their background or previous record and success in school, has the right and the capability to go to college. I would now like to introduce you to Diego, who's our Chief of Growth.
Hi everybody, I'm Diego Arambia, Chief Growth Officer for Summit. If you'll indulge me, I'm going to tell a quick story about my dad, because he impacted why I got into education. My dad was a migrant farm worker, first in his family born in this country. Through his schooling, got himself to college, a graduate degree, a law degree, and completely changed not only his life, but every opportunity I've had in mine. And I looked at that and thought, that is exactly why I need to be a public school teacher, to create those same opportunities for the next generation of kids. And then as I got into schools, I realized, but it's so tough to pick the lucky ones. And let's be clear, my dad was a lucky one. He was one of the few who made it out of his low-income, underserved school. And I just thought there has to be something different where a school is truly preparing a diverse student body where every kid is prepared for success in college. I found Summit, and I have never been happier. Our mission is that we serve a diverse student population, we prepare them to be successful in a four-year college, and to be thoughtful, contributing members of society. Jen said the numbers, but sometimes they can fly over. I truly want you to understand, we look like the communities in which we reside, and that's 5 different communities in the Bay Area right now. We look like those communities. And regardless of preparation coming in the door, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of socioeconomic status, every single one of those kids when they walk out of our door is applying to a four-year college and prepared to go, and 96% of them are being accepted. And in California, those numbers are traditionally around 24%. We are truly transforming what it means to be a public high school in California, and I truly feel like I'm living the legacy my dad needed me to live to repay the debt that someone gave to him. So I'm really excited to be a part of Summit. I've left the classroom. I started as a classroom teacher, got a lot of training to step into a leadership role, now help open new schools and new communities and do this work, and we know what it takes to be successful in new communities. We have 6 schools now, and we know at its very fundamental basis what it takes is teachers and personal relationships with kids. And there is a secret sauce on the back end, and we've done all of that. We are financially sustainable. We have raised all the startup monies to start Summit Sierra. We have a facilities solution in place, so if we are chartered, we know how to get into a building. We are developing a local board with local control here. We have all of these pieces in place, but at the end of the day, it is an academic model that puts high-performing teachers, utilizes their time with kids absolutely best, and really prioritizes teachers and kids working together to make all of this happen. Jen is going to talk to you about some of the community outreach we've been doing to be successful and what that academic model looks like. But what I want you to feel confident is, we know that Seattle looks very different than California, but we know that we've had experience moving into communities that look different than the past communities we've been in, and we know how to do that work. Thanks.
I feel like I'm going to have a nightmare about that clock. Okay, so there are many amazing aspects of the Summit model that we think are leading to these extraordinary results. There's 4 that I want to highlight tonight, but I do encourage you to read the charter, even though it's 400 pages, because there are others that I could highlight as well. The first one is we really focus on a heterogeneous student population. We believe that a diverse student population actually leads to a rich and dynamic school. And we think that everybody is better off because of it. It mirrors what students will face in college and in the real world. The second is we have an outstanding staff. We recruit nationally for the highest caliber teachers and leaders. And our teachers receive 40 days of professional development every year. 40 days, and that's pretty unusual. They often become leaders, just like Diego. We're retaining teachers. 85% of our teachers stay every year. The third is the personalized learning plan. Every Summit student has a PLP, a personalized learning plan, where students set and track their goals daily with a mentor. The PLP is designed to be a dynamic tool that enables families, teachers, and parents to offer coaching and support to all kids. The process is made possible through a 1-to-1 student-to-computer ratio and through the fact that this adult mentor is meeting consistently and frequently with each child. The fourth is the expeditions. We know all students learn differently. Not everybody learns best in a classroom. So 8 weeks out of the year, students are actually out of the classroom in an expedition, in internships, doing community service projects. They're taking advantage of the arts, dancing, anything that they're very passionate about, and it's all aligned to a rubric. The students often say that this is the best part of their high school experience. For example, Sophie, who's here tonight, is actually on an expedition. She wanted to see what it's like to launch new schools in a new state. So she's actually never flown out of California before, and purchased a ticket, got on a plane, left her family, wrote a speech, and she's here tonight to tell you about Summit and the experiences she's had there. These are the types of experiences we want for students in South Seattle. We accomplish all of this in our schools because of our unique and extensive community partnerships, which we are developing in Seattle. Obviously not as strongly as Maggie. We have already had many two-way dialogues and multiple community meetings and dinners, and we look forward to continuing this very critical work. If authorized, we plan to work with our community ambassadors who visited our schools in California and develop even deeper community partnerships. We're so grateful to these ambassadors. If authorized, I'm confident we will create an outstanding school that closes the opportunity gap, and I hope that in 2019, when our founding students graduate, we will be able to watch them walk across the stage and go to four-year colleges. Thank you so much for listening tonight.
Thank you, Diego. Thank you, Jen. So Colin's going to put a piece of paper here with the last three digits on the white, red, white. So white is the ticket if you have that. The last three digits, if they match any of the three digits that are up here, then we would welcome you to come up and provide up to 2 minutes of public testimony. And one other thing, we have a 30-minute time block for this part, and that's a running clock. So if you want to get as many people up here, just quickly get up, maybe get a line going with folks who have those numbers. That might help.
Like right along here?
I was a teacher. I don't mind getting up first. Okay, good evening, everyone. My name, my ticket. Well, they took my ticket. You took my ticket, right?
I'll grab it from you.
Okay, thank you. We're just getting organized. My name is Jane Chadsey. I've been a public school educator in Seattle Public Schools for 35 years across this area. Taught elementary school in Seattle Public Schools and then went on to be a teacher leader there and a district administrator, and spent then 5 years in Renton. I know this community. I have lived in this community my entire life, and I believe in the public school educators and the schools in our community, and I also believe in Summit Public Schools. And I say that intentionally, because I think that the combination of work we might do together will help us all be better at the work we deeply care about. So I've come to know the people who lead Summit Public Schools through my recent work with a nonprofit organization here in Seattle. And it's through this work that I know that the leaders of Summit Public Schools are skilled, they're hardworking, they're relentless, and they are authentic advocates for students and their families. And everything you just heard right now, absolutely true. The instructional model that was developed by Summit Public Schools is innovative, with high expectations and also high support. So matching those high expectations with high support is not something we see happening in schools often these days. And what they really do is to equip students and teachers with the knowledge and skills that they need to be successful through the leveraging of technology tools. I want to take a minute to talk about the teachers, because this is something I deeply care about. I believe that this model creates an environment where teachers are really able to facilitate deeper learning, coaching and tutoring students, and in essence, reclaiming the passion that we came to teach with in the first place. And so that's done through the 40 days of professional development and in the project work where kids are asked to take on authentic learning themselves. So it looks like my time is up, and I look forward to working side by side with the educators in Summit Public Schools.
Hello, my name is Sofia Canela. I am 16 years old and I am an 11th grader at Summit Tahoma in San Jose, California. I was born in a small town in Michoacan, Mexico, and I immigrated to this country when I was 9 years old with my family. I chose to go to Summit because many people told me that it was a great school that got all students into college because of their great guiding skills to be independent learners and responsible students. Summit has taught me how to be organized, courageous, and stand up for my education. They are willing to do anything to help me with what I need. My last year's physics teacher, Ms. Lai, stayed with me one day until 7 p.m. to help me with project revisions. My history teacher, Ms. Soyama, has changed my life because she has taught me how to see history in different perspectives, which has also impacted my mother, who knows all about the wars and revolutions now. My expeditions class, musical theater in 9th grade, helped me develop confidence by teaching me how to sing, dance, and act at the same time in front of many people. The teachers don't only teach me in class, but they have taught me reading strategies while driving back from a study trip. The best part of Summit is that you have a teacher who is your parent. Ms. Odie and my mentor group have changed my life as well because they are always willing to help me with anything I need with a smile on their face. I might have been the shyest girl in middle school, but now I'm a softball captain, a tutor during lunch, and a volunteer speaking to you about my story, which I never imagined would have happened if I didn't come to Summit. But Summit has given me the opportunity to develop every skill I need for my future. This school will get every kid to college because it doesn't only teach your kids the quadratic formula or the causes of the American Revolution, but how to be independent, how to work as a team, and it will help them be confident. And most importantly, will get them into college and be successful in life. You will not regret it, I promise. Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice.
So my name is Raul Perez, and it's because of this. You're not going to get emotional. I have to script this because I'm very passionate about what I do in my community in San Jose. But I wrote it down because with this passion and emotion that I have, I'll be here every day. I mean, all day. But again, my name is Raul Perez. I'm a dislocated Texan in San Jose. So, and no, I'm not a Niner fan, so go Seahawks. So I've been an active community member for many years. I work with youth and gangs and their families through my job with the city of San Jose. And what's really important for me is this, is that I can, through my job and as a volunteer, advocate for youth and families. And I have advocated for youth for a better life and options. With this said, 4 years ago, we, the founding members of Summit, Tahoma, and Rainier, mobilized our community. We had over 900 families saying, we want a better choice and better options for our children and community. So I chose Summit over a public school because, and not so much because I'm, as being a founding member and helping organize this, I didn't expect anything. But with them saying, you know what, Raul, with you helping us, yes, we're going to help you and your daughter's going to be enrolled in our school. Every time I give it, I've never expected anything back. But that was the greatest gift. Because I took a cut of pay, I took a demotion, and I couldn't send my daughter to a private school. And I wasn't going to send her to a public school. And it's nothing, I don't have anything against public schools. But what we do at home is going to complement my daughter. Should be successful anywhere. So I chose Summit because it's small. It's small and it gives personalized attention to our students. It's safe because it's a better, small community. It has proven academic success, like they said before me. And their self-directive approach and mentor program. Now, through the self-directive approach, it's helped my daughter Marisa, who's a freshman. It's okay. You can talk to me after if you want.
Go Hawks. My name is Annette Anderson, and I'm here, and hello to all commissioners and all. I'm here for three primary reasons. I'm about the fourth generation in my family who are educators focused on educating African American children, although I'm in higher ed at this point. Secondly, our African American children aren't thriving in Seattle public schools. And third, I visited San Francisco and had a chance to visit some Summit schools, and I was encouraged by what I saw. I saw students engaged in their learning. When students are engaged, that means they're learning leadership skills. They're participating in the process. I saw a 360 comprehensive model of engaging children with their teachers and parents, and that encouraged me. I saw minority students, probably didn't see many African Americans. I saw a lot of Hispanic kids and a lot of Asian kids, but they were focused, they were engaged, they had a plan, they had a model, and they were ready to achieve. They took responsibility for their education. And that's something. And the thing that I believe that keeps students engaged more than any other thing is knowing that those people up there are there and they are concerned about you every single minute you're in their presence. That was the difference, and that's what I'm here to talk about. I want a school system in place where our kids know that the person standing in front cares about everything that they do, invested in them from the first second they meet. And we don't have that in our public schools. My mother comes home in tears. She's retired, volunteers all day in Washington Middle School, and an educator, a teacher told us black kids, you're the lowest achieving kids in all of Seattle schools. That's not what our kids need to hear. So again, we need to work hard and make sure our kids, our African American kids, get what they need in the classroom. Thank you.
Way to go.
Oh, here's the missing ticket. Hi, good evening. Thanks for the opportunity to speak. My name's Bree Deso, and I don't think I need this. My name's Bree Deso, and I'm a former teacher and principal in charter schools, and most recently was the executive director of schools for the Southeast region in Seattle Public Schools. I'm also a Seattle resident, and I live in the 98118 zip code in the Hellman City, Columbia City neighborhood. I'm here supporting Summit in part because of the role that I play right now in my work, which is the director of the Leadership Center at Washington State Charter Schools Association, but also in part as a citizen, because I couldn't be more excited for the opportunity we have in front of us. Summit is one of the very best networks of schools and schools that I have seen, and I have been in dozens and dozens and dozens of charter schools with my work as a researcher at the University of Washington CERPI researching charter schools, and in my work as a principal and teacher in charter schools. I've seen a lot of schools in dozens of states. I've seen a wide range of models, and Summits is one of those where you walk in and you feel it. You don't even have to go into a classroom, you immediately feel it. So when we had an opportunity to recruit and get Summit here, I thought, how lucky am I? And then when they chose Seattle, I thought, oh my God, I am not moving. I'm staying right here. So, so Summit is, I thought I'd just share, actually, I will not share a couple, oh, I don't have the page. So some of the things that I recall that make Summit really special are the 96% graduation rate. But I think also interesting is that 100% of graduates are actually prepared for the California charter system. The California college standard system, which is above the Washington system. The schools themselves are fiscally responsible while mirroring the constituency of the district. So my time is short, but I just want to encourage everyone with the viewpoint that I have that we would be very fortunate to have charter schools here, and we would be incredibly fortunate to have Summit in Southeast Seattle. Thank you so much.
Good evening, my name is Alejandra Diaz. I am a parent of 2 children. I am part of the Roxhill Elementary here in Seattle. So I think charter schools, it's a very good school. They have a very good system. I think it's very simple, but at the same time very effective. So I have seen some of the kids there in San Francisco, and they were all very confident. When I asked them how they feel in their school, they said that they feel secure. And the other reason that I loved the most was that you don't have to go to your children's school only if it's they have a low score or because they're getting into trouble. I mean, I like the fact that they have, every child has a mentor, and they will help them to go through middle school or in high school to get to college. So I think every child deserves to have that, and I think there is no other way that I can say that I just love the charter schools, and I would love for me to have my children in they're right now, they're 10 and 7, but I'm looking for the future, and I also look for the best for my community. So I think a charter school will give them a the best opportunity to have a career in life.
Very nice.
Hi, my name is Marisol Mendoza, and I was also flown down to San Jose and to Redwood City to check out some of the Summit schools. And I was pretty much at it all when you walked through the schools. I mean, it was open. They pretty much personalized the schools for themselves, which was amazing. And it was just a lot of information. The percentage of kids that are graduating and going on to high school or I'm sorry, to college and to a 4-year anniversary was just, I was just in shock seeing that percentage from California. And to my question was, why don't we have that here? And so I'm very, very happy of Summit. A lot of the things that I also saw at the schools that we visited was the kids, they were just comfortable in their space and their zone, working very into the work that they were doing. We went into a classroom where a teacher was helping other kids one-on-one. So she had 5 kids and she was helping them with the material that the kids weren't understanding, and the other kids were pretty much doing the work that they needed to do. They weren't fooling around or not paying attention or, nothing. I mean, they were in their computer doing what they needed to be doing, and to me, I was amazed. If I would have walked into another school, in any other classroom, I'm pretty sure half of the classroom would have been a chaos in there. So that was one of the other things I saw. The other thing that I also saw was the kids were comfortable. They dressed comfortable. I mean, they weren't dressed with, brands. It wasn't like they're there to do a fashion show or anything. They were there comfortable to do what they needed to do, which was to study. We talked to a lot of the students, and they just talked great about the teachers, the program, and their tutors that were there to help them. Like Alejandra was saying, one of the questions we asked a kid was, how do you feel in these schools? And the one thing that they said, which was like heartening to me, was they said, we feel safe. And that was I think in San Jose. And so it was just an amazing system. So I'm looking forward to having it here in Seattle. I know as a Hispanic, it's needed. Thank you.
Hi, thank you for taking the time to consider Summit's application. My name is Kate Coxa, and I grew up in Issaquah, and I currently live in West Seattle. A little bit of background: when I was young, my parents were really actively involved in my education. When the neighborhood elementary school wasn't meeting my needs, they moved me to a nearby magnet. There wasn't enough space in a middle school program that was comparable. There just weren't enough seats that would personalize for kids. So they ended up moving me to a private school, which was a great fit, and I had a great education because my parents were wonderful advocates. I want more students to have spaces in schools that personalize for them, that are public schools, and that are here and part of our communities. As I mentioned, I currently live nearby in West Seattle, but from 2005 to 2012, I lived in the Bay Area. And while I was there over the course of the years, I was a teacher, a school leader, and then I also worked in curriculum and instruction. Most recently, I was with Rocket Ship Education, which is a group of charter elementary schools in the Bay Area. We were pushing on a lot of the same issues that the Summit team is working on when it came to instructional design, and I was consistently impressed by a few things. Number one, Summit puts thought and effort into teaching students to plan, set goals, and manage their own learning. Students at Summit are self-directed learners who are building the skills they need for college and the rest of life. Many schools talk about this, but very few schools do it in the way that I see Summit doing it. Number two, Summit works hard to find or create the tools that students need. For example, they recently got grant funding to partner with an ed tech company called Illuminate to develop a tool that students are using to manage their learning playlists and plans, and that's now a free tool that's available for any school to use. So I really see a commitment on Summit's part to be the kind of organization that wants other people to learn and to be able to build on the things that they're trying. Number three, there's a consistent and genuine desire to build a community that's larger than one individual school. So when I was in the Bay Area, Summit was regularly open to tours, and other teachers, school leaders, members of the community were welcome to come and see the great things that were happening. Four and last, the great results. Other people have talked about this, but 96% of students being admitted by colleges or universities, that's huge, and that's really needed here. So thank you.
Well done, Kate. Well done. Very nice.
My name is Renee Gallagher, and I'm a resident of South Seattle. I've been in education for 12 years, the last 10 of those in Seattle area public schools, a year at Cleveland High School, and then the last 9 years at Odyssey High School in the Highline School District. I've worked as a math and special ed teacher, instructional coach, and math specialist, and I've chosen to stay in public education because I believe in it. I'm National Board Certified, a member of the union, and a supporter of charter schools. I support school choice because I believe that we all win when students have access to school options. After 10 years in our high schools, I can say wholeheartedly that additional high school models are needed if we are to effectively prepare students for their futures. Every student deserves to be taught in an effective, high-performing school where they are known by their teachers, where they engage in rigorous thinking work on a daily basis. Every student deserves to have an education that empowers them with powerful thinking skills, creating access to whatever opportunities they choose to pursue. Charter schools working together with districts can make that experience a reality for more students. Together we can rethink and reimagine how we do school. As a teacher, I had the opportunity to visit many charter schools and to study their models. I was inspired by what I saw. Students like ours, teachers like ours, who had been able to build creative, cutting-edge models and effective systems. To work in an effective system where schools are known by their board members and decisions are school and student-based is the dream of most teachers and principals. Summit Sierra is this school. Summit believes that every student deserves to be in a classroom with an effective teacher, and that every teacher deserves to be in an effective school with a great leader. It has the capacity to carry out what we all know to be best practices in education, small schools where learning is personalized. Teachers have access to professional development that moves their practices forward and are held to a high bar of excellence. They are valued and have a high level of ownership in their school. They are provided with cutting-edge learning experiences that allow them to be effective educators. Because of this, students achieve. Summit not only believes that students can achieve at high levels, they design systems and supports to make this belief a reality in the lives of their students. Their track record of success is impressive. Students in South Seattle deserve access to this kind of educational experience. Thank you.
That was terrific.
Hello. My name is Maria Dominguez. I have 2 children and I live in South Seattle Pure Community. I am activity member of my church and I'm here in White Center, and I care about all of my children in congregation and their future. Many of them don't have a school that are meeting their individual, unique need. This is why I believe we need charter a school. We simply need more free public option for students and families. I'm here to support Summit Public School tonight because I know my children will benefit from a small. For Summit the highest school that is safe, Summit Public School have high expectation for their students. This is when I went for my children and for my children to my church. I believe that all parents want to see their children raise to children and reach their goal. In addition, every child at Summit Public School has an adult mentor that look at them during their 4th year in the high school. The mentor contact with the family. Every school needs this, so that both the student and the parent get the information they need to create a strong and partnership with the school. I also love that Summit students are engagement in real-world learning experience. They don't just learn for textbooks, which many students think is boring and they eventually drop off to the school. Summit students are learning at their own pace and the curriculum is exciting and interesting. This is probably one of the reasons they are getting such incredible results. We need high quality high school option in Washington that keep our children both physical and emotionally safe. We'll still holding the high start. We need summer. Este es un país de oportunidades y creo que para nosotros lo más importante es la educación de nuestros hijos. Por eso yo creo que realmente tener una capacidad intelectual mayor, creo que es muy necesario tener una opción como Summit nos podría dar. Gracias.
Did you get them both?
Here we get to Diego.
Hi everyone, my name is Courtney Mills. I'm a nurse at Harborview. I'm the mother of 2 small children, and I recently moved to Beacon Hill neighborhood. And one of the reasons that me and my husband decided to move there was because we want our kids to grow up in a diverse community that's more representative of the world at large. I am a product of a public school, so is my husband. It matters to me. but it's kind of a bummer to me that I feel like I moved into a community that I wanted to be in because of the people that's there, but it means that my education options are kind of subpar. I've been voting for charter schools to be on the ballot since I moved to Washington State, since I first saw it on the ballot. Super excited to have the option. Really excited about Summit. Really happy to hear you guys speak. I want a school where my kids can be with kids from all different cultural, ethnic, socioeconomic backgrounds and be achieving together. I want my kids to have mentorship. I plan on being really involved. I want their teachers to hold them accountable. I want to be part of that conversation. And that's why I'm here. So.
Thank you.
My name's Sarah Gustafson, and I actually live in Seattle, in Northeast Seattle, which has really good public schools. So some of you might be wondering why I'm here supporting a charter school. And some of that has to do with what Courtney had to say, in the sense of she moved in order to give her kids diversity. And that's something that I think is lacking in Northeast Seattle, is the diversity in schools. So, I mean, hearing everybody speak about this, it's really inspiring, and it makes me want to go back to school, and I wish I could be in a charter school. And so, of course, that's what I want to give my kids. So obviously, charter schools in Northeast Seattle are not going to be happening anytime soon, and I get that. But I really want to help support them coming to Seattle, period, in the hopes that eventually it'll grow and move everywhere in the state. One thing that I love about Summit, which I'm just learning about really as this process goes on, is I love the support that charter schools give to not only the students but also to the teachers, because I believe if everybody's happy in an environment, that everyone is going to thrive. I also love the emotional support that is provided for students, because one thing that I think is huge in the Seattle School District is things are so large and kids can fall through the gaps. And I believe that if there's a lot of one-on-one and an emotional connection with teachers and with the administrators and with parents, and we work as a team. I'm a physical therapist, and so everything we do, we work as a team, and you see people improve and get better when you work in a team approach. So that's kind of my take.
That's great.
We have more, but we're out of tickets.
Yeah.
No, I'll pull them out of the hat. So if you have a white ticket that matches 132, welcome into your public comment. 132.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Sarah Satnover. I'm Summit's Director of Growth. I'm actually going to read a statement from a woman whose name is Anita Koyer-Mwamba. She is a parent in Southeast, and she came last month and saw the Summit schools and wasn't able to come tonight because her daughter is in a dance rehearsal, so she wrote something that I'm going to read for her. Greetings, commissioners and community members. My name is Anita Koyer-Mwamba. I am a proud parent of 2 young children. They currently attend Seattle Public School. Historically, I have been in staunch opposition to charter schools and very much a proponent of public schools. I believe in children's inherent curiosity and in guiding their education to bring out their highest ideals and greatest positive contributions to humanity. While many good things are happening at my children's school, the process is heavily dependent on individual teachers /staff /year and is dramatically inconsistent. Essentially, my child is receiving some schooling, basics of reading and arithmetic, etc., and socialization, but he is not receiving an education. The current public school system is failing our children, has failed our children, and appears to be on a path to continue to do so. By all measure, children of color have failed and been pushed out and are not failing and dropping out. I loved what I witnessed at Summit. Learning is self-directed, and teachers are guides who illuminate the path for young aspiring scholars. The students bring the wealth of their cultural identities to the school, and that identity is incorporated as an asset in their learning process. The Summit model imbues students with an ethical approach to learning, a vibrant learning space, an aspiration to college entry, 96% enter four-year colleges, and a deep sense of citizenship in the global community. For these reasons, I am excited to know that my daughter has meaningful choice for high school and that there no longer is a monopoly in education preventing me from finding the best fit for my family while continuing to support public education. Thank you.
We have time for one more. 110. 110. You're holding the white paper. 110, the last three digits. Welcome you to the stage. All right. You got it?
I feel like I should have a flute. So think of me as melodious. My name is Marta Reyes Newberry, and I'm here on behalf of the new Washington State Charter Schools Association. We are committed to working with charter schools that have the commitment and the intentionality of being high quality. We cannot help improve our public system if we do it half-heartedly. We must be intentional. We must have authentic learning for our children, and we must be committed to do the heavy lifting. Heavy lifting means charter startups. It means learning how to do school a little differently, out of the box, but with the structure that is going to serve the end product, and that end product is our children. They have to be equipped for the life they're going to be. We are the bridges for them to walk across. We know not what their world is going to be, but we get glimpses how quickly things are changing, how technology is integrated, how so much information is out there. How do they distinguish which information is important? That's all of our jobs, not just the association, but the community at large. I was heartened to hear the families testify to how important it is that their children receive high quality education. That's what we should all be doing, and we should stand for nothing less. So the Washington State Charter Schools Association is celebrating the birth of charter schools. Charter schools are public schools. They're not private. So when we say we're not happy with the public system, I say, yes, we are. We're helping to improve it. We're helping to make it different, and everybody should have access. We welcome you to this important work and look forward to having many more years with you across the state of Washington. Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you everyone that was able to speak. Again,